Hmm. Did we get a like on this yet? Yes, we did. So I can work with that. See if I post it. It does. And it's posted. And let me get this first puzzle loaded up. And that's the second one, so I'm to switch around. There we go. There was a time when I tried just seeing if I could visually solve puzzles. Just going through and saying, okay, that has to be this. This has to be that over there, and so on. But most of these get to be a little bit too long for that. All right. Hitting the check. Let's see if it validates. It does. So you get 20 seconds. Go ahead and grab a screenshot. See if you can solve the puzzle. Get a swig of beverage to start refreshing myself. And 2 more seconds, and here we go. All right. This one's going to be a 2. I've got one of these 3 to be a 2. One of these 2 is a 2. One of these 2 is a 2. I got 3 down here as well. All right, how about 1? One of these 3 is a 1. One of these 2 is a 1. And one of these 2 is a 1. One of these 3, one of these 3. Okay, how about 3s? That's a popular number. Now that's going to be a 3. One of these 2 is a 3. One of these 2 is going to be a 3. And we get 4 or 5 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. And 3 possibilities here. So on to 4s. One of these 2 is a 4. Got 5 possibilities here. 5 possibilities here. 5 possibilities up here. Wide open on these 7 and these. And again, wide open on these 5 and these 5. Speaking of 5s, there's one there. One of these 2 will be a 5. One of these 4 will be a 5. 5 possibilities there. 3 here. 5 here. Takes us down to 2 here. And that's pretty much going to do it for what I can do with 5s at the moment. So we look at 6s. One of these 2 is a 6. One of these 2 is a 6. Up here we get 2 possibilities as well. This one can't be, so that is a 6. Clear that. This becomes a 6. Clear that. Okay. Here we've got 2 possibilities. And 2 possibilities here. And that means I've got 2 possibilities down here as well. 7s. I've got 2 possible 7s there. 2 possible 7s here. 7 here. Only because I know one of these 3 will be a 7. And let's see. Here we've got those 2. We got 4 possibilities over here. So let's move on to 8s. That's going to be an 8. This will be an 8. One of these 2 is going to be an 8. I've got 2 possibles for an 8 there. This one's going to be an 8 though, so this one can't be. That makes this one an 8. That one can't be. That's an 8. And I believe that puts an 8 in almost every, in every square. All right, how about 9s? So it looks like one of these 3 will be a 9, so this becomes a 4, and this becomes a 9. Over here, one of these 2 will be a 9. I've got 4 possibilities here, 4 possibilities here, and everything's open here and down here. There are 5 possibilities here, and everything's open here. All right, run through those again. Now we know one of these 2 is a 1. Up here, I've got 3 possibilities. Down here, we had 2 possibilities. That was one of these 2 is a 1, but that's the only things we can say there. Okay, not a 5, possibly a 6. All right. Up here, since we got 1s taking, or 1s and 9s here, 2 3s. One of these 2 is a 4. Let's see down here anything. I got 4 possibilities for 4. So 1s, a 2, 3s, 4 possibilities for 4. 5 possibilities for 5. 2 for 6. 2 for 7 and 8. And 5 possibilities for 9. Okay. What else have we got? We're down to a single place for a 2 here. So that's a 2. One of these 2 is a 2. That goes with the 7, so that's not a 5. That's a 5. That means one of these 2 is a 5. Means one of these 2 is a 5. It can't be that one. So it's, nope, can't be that one. It's that one. This one can't be a 5. This one becomes a 5. Down here, we've got these 2. All right. 6s. 2 possibilities there. 2 possibilities here. 2 here. 2 here. And locked in everywhere else over here. 6s. 7s. So we get these 2 possibilities for a 7. A 7 here and a 7 up here. 3 possibilities for a 7 here. 2 possibilities here. And all 3 of those, all 3 of these are possible for 7. And we narrow 9s down a bit. Not really. I've got 3 possibilities here for a 9. 4 possibilities for a 9 here. 2 here. All 5 of these can be a 9. I've got 4 possibilities for a 9 here now. All 6 of these have the possibility of being a 9. Go down to 3 possibilities here, but no useful guidance on that yet. And then all of these have, all 5 of these could be a 9. Except these 2 can't be, so really we've got 3 possibilities for 9. Let's see. We've got a 1 here. One of these 2 is a 2. We've got 2 possibilities for a 3 now. 2 possibilities for a 4 here. That makes this one the remaining of 9. That means we now have 2 possibilities for a 9 there. Also, neither of these can be a 4, so one of these 2 is. Let's see. One of these 2 is a 2. 3. And these 2 is a 4. One of these two is a 5. One of these two is a 6. We've got 3 possibilities for a 7, and an 8, and 4 possibilities for a 9. All right. And again, one of these 3 is a 7. Okay. That changed things up here. Well, we've got one of these 4 is a, no, one of these 3 is a 1. We got 2 up here. 2 possibilities for a 3, which means that over here we still have 3 possibilities for a 3. All right. 4s. I've got all 4 of those could be potentially a 4. 5, 6, and 7, and 8. We're down to trying to fit in a 9 here. Oh, wait. One of these 2 is a 9. And that means one of these 2 is now a 9. It'd be nice if that would allow us to eliminate one of these corners. Or one of these as well, but not so much yet. All right. Okay, 1, 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3 possibilities for a 3. 3 possibilities for a 4. A 5. 2 possibilities for 6. 7, 8. 2 possibilities for a 9. All right, down here, that can't be a 1. That can't be a 1, so that's a 1. Makes that a 1. That's not a 1. This becomes a 2, so this can't be a 2. That's a 2. Doesn't say this is 5 yet, just that it can't be a 2. All right, 1, 2, 3. One of these 3 is a 4. We got 2 possibilities for a 5, 6, 7, and 8, and all 3 of these could be a 9. But that does mean that one of these 2 is now a 9. Matter of fact, we can also say that one of these 2 is a 4, means one of these 2 is a 1. So it marries up with that nicely. Okay. 1, 2, 3s. Oh wait, one of these 2 is a 3 because this one can't be now since that's locked in. This can't be a 1, which is fine because that's a 1. 1, 2, 3. Still, all 3 of these can be a 4. Get a 5. One of these 2 will be a 6. Get a 7 and an 8. And one of these 2 is a 9. Okay. We're down to a 9 here. Means this is a 9. That's a 5. That's 4. So that can't be a 5 anymore. That's going to be a 5. One of these 2 will be a 4. And this one's going to be a 3. So not that one. That's going to be a 3. This one gets to be a 6. And since this can't be a 7, it's a 4. That's a 7. Not a 6. This is a 6. This is a 9. And that turns this one into a 4. So this is a 9. This is a 4. This is a 3, a 4 up here. Does that help me down here yet? Nope. This does, though. That's a 6. This becomes a 4, not a 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's going to be a 7. There's an 8, 9 here, so not a 9 there. 9 here, 6 here, 7 here. 2 and 7. 1 and 9, 3 and 4, 3, and we finish this one with 1. 13 minutes and 39 seconds. And let's play again and pull up the other puzzle. That was the easy. There is the medium. Loading it up now. Start up here with a 2, 6, 1, 1, 8, 3, 5, 9, 6, 7, 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 9, 1, 2, 6, 9, 7, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6. All right, again, once I hit the check mark, if it validates, you've got 20 seconds. You get 20 seconds. Grab a screenshot, see if you can solve it, if you'd like, or wait another 10 seconds and I'll start solving it. All right, there we go. So, get a 1 here, a 1 here. One of these 2 is going to be 1. One of these 2 is going to be 1. One of these 2 is going to be a 2. This becomes a 2. This is a 2. Down here, one of these 2 is a 2. Get a 3 here. One of these 3 is going to be a 3. Got 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. One of these 2 is going to be a 3. And that looks like all I can really do at this point. I've got 4 possibilities here. All right. Let's look at 4s. All right. 3 possibilities on a 4 here. 4 possibilities down here. 3 possibilities for 4 here. And 3 here. 4 here. 4 here. And everything down here. 6. All right, let's try 5s. A 5 here, 5 here. 3 possibilities and a 5 here. 4 for 3 possibilities here, 4 up here, and 5 possibilities here. Correction, 4 possibilities there. 4 possibilities down here as well. And not a lot of help over here. Any of these are possible. I've got 2 possibilities here because I can't put a 5 in one of these or in this square. All right. Does that help with 4s at all? Actually, it does. It gives me 2 possibilities for a 4 in this square. All right. How about 6s? We got a 6 here and here. This one becomes a 6. That's the 1 and a 2. Let's see. 6s. I've got 4 possibilities for a 6 here. 2 possibilities here. That means it's going to be this one here, and one of these 2 is a 6 up here. 7s. Got a 7 here, 7 here. That blocks this one. The other, this one over here blocks these two. So one of these two is a 7. That means one of these two is a 7. One of these 3 has to be a 7, so this can't be a 4 anymore. It's a 7. This becomes a 4, this becomes a 5, and that's going to be an 8, with an 8 and 7 here, and that turns this into a 4. All right, that makes one of these two an 8, which makes this an 8. Down here, we go down to 2 possibilities for an 8 there. 3 possibilities here. All right, that was all because I'd dropped a 6 in here. How about 7s? We've got a 7 there. All 4 of these could be a 7. I've got 2 possibilities for a 7 here now. 3s are other possibilities here. And 9s are going to be one of these two. So that turns this into a 3. This becomes a 1. This is a 3. Okay. 1, 2. One of these 4 is a 3. Except one of these 2 is a 3. That means one of these 2 will be a 3. Up here, I still have 3 possibilities for a 3. 3 possibilities here. Let's see, anything else? Well, we did not finish up 7s, so this is a 7. One of these 2 is a 7, means one of these 2 is a 7. We've got 8s now. One of these 2 is an 8. I've got 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. That otherwise says that all the possibilities for 8 are on the board. One of these 2 is a 9. Got a 9 here and a 9 here. 9 here. One of these 2 is a 9. And over here, I've got 4 possibilities for a 9. But since I've now got a 9-3 pair here, I can narrow what these 2 could possibly be. So one of them is going to be a 4. One of them is going to be a 5. There are other possibilities in each of those 2 squares. This square here and this square here. That could be either 4 or 5. We know that one of these 3 is a 4. Let's see, can this be an 8? Yes, it could. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing that I need to drop in somewhere here is a 5. I've got way too many possibilities here and 3 too many possibilities here. All right. Okay, we got those 2 locked in for that. So one of these 2 is going to be a, and no, one of these 3 is a 5. One of these 3 is a 5. 4 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. And let's see. 6. Yep, like I've got 4 possibilities for a 6 here. These 2 here. These 2 up here. That blocks that. Get a 6 here. Okay. 7s. We have one of these 2 is a 7. 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 And it takes care of blocks of 7s. 8s. One of these 2 over here is an 8. And down here I still got way too many possibilities. 3 possibilities for an 8 here. Got a given 8 here. 2 possibilities down here. At least was a 9. 9 given here and here. Here. Well, these 2 is a 9. 4 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. 2 here. Okay. Okay, the missing problem here is a 5. One of these 3 is a 5. 1, 2, 3. That means this one's a 4. Because really all I've got for 4s here, one of these 2 is a 4. And let's look through this. We got a 1 and a 2. One of these 2 is a 3. One of these 2 is a 3, so 3s are out. 4 we're looking at. We got a 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then over here is a 9. So yes, this is a 4. That makes this one appear 4. Means this is a 4. Means that's a 4. And this is a 4. And 4s are done. Makes this into a 6. Which kind of helps down here. No, it doesn't. That's a 6. One of these 2 is a 6. To go with 7, that means that 5 is going to be one of these 2. So this can't be a 5. One of these 2 is going to be a 5. Up here, that's going to be a 5. And over here we get an 8. Means not an 8. 8 here, 9 here, 5 here. One of these 2 will be a 5. It's going to be this one, not this one. This is going to be a 5. This is going to be a 3. Couldn't have been a 5 because of that one there already. One of these 2 is a 5. It's going to be this one. 4 and a 2 are already in that. So not a 5 here. This can't be a 2, so it's an 8. So that's a 2. So up here, we get a 2. 1, 2. 3s are going to be one of these 2. This one will no longer be a 3. That's going to go right here, making this a 6, making this a 7, not a 7. 7, 9 here, 9 here, 3 and 9 here, 3 here, not a 3. The remaining digit there is a 5. Down here, we get 7, 9, 7, 6. This can't be a 6, so that's a 7, 6, 7, and this becomes a 9. Hey, 12 minutes and 33 seconds. Almost a full minute, or maybe a full minute faster than it took me to solve the easy one. All right. I want to say thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you have a great day, and we'll be talking with you again soon. Take care, everybody.